Hello and welcome to the newspaper review here on TAV TV. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today. And yes, you know how we do it here on the streets of Port Harcourt. We get to discuss with people on the street. We get to see their reactions as we got different headlines making rounds on the papers. You out there can also be a part of the show. Please subscribe to our channel. If you are yet to subscribe, turn on your notification button and do well to connect with us across all our social media platforms. Well, before we discuss with people on the streets, let's first look into the newspapers and see what the stories look like. First, we'll be looking at the Nigerian pilot, today being Thursday, April 17th, 2024. We can see as headline says, Kano Anti-Corruption Agency files fresh charges against ex-Governor Ganduje. Details is found on page 10. Bayelsa Speaker urges new IGR board chairman to increase revenue. Details of this story is found on page 6. And at the main story here, you could see it says, El-Rufai under probe. Sub-story under that reads, Kaduna State House of Assembly sets up committee to probe Nasir El-Rufai's administration. Committee tasked to probe loans, grants, project implementation from 2015 to 2023. Details of this interesting story is found on page 4. NCAA suspends 3 private jet owners for operating commercial flights. Details is found on page 5. Federal government targets $2.7 billion revenue as Tinubu launches national single window. Details is found on page 5, and that's all be taken on the Nigerian pilots. And moving on, we'll be looking at the Vanguard newspaper. We could see here it says, electricity tariff hike, 65% of businesses may shut down, says OPS. Details is found on page 32. Coalition threat, PDP governors move to avert implosion. Details is found on page 7. Judge threatens to adjourn Kanu's trial indefinitely. Interesting. Details is found on page 11. And at the main story here, you could see it says, CBN not using reserves to defend Naira, says Cardoso. Sub-story under that read, ways and means no longer an issue. We have made a hard decision quickly enough. Details of this story is found on page 4 of the Vanguard newspaper. Kidnapping will live in fear, Unizik students tell authorities. Details of this story is found on page 14. Ganduje kicks as Kano court affirms suspension. Details is found on page 32. Those threatening Nigeria's sovereignty have price to pay, says President Tinubu. Details is found on page 5. And that's all be taken on the Vanguard newspaper. And lastly, for today, we'll be looking at the Punch newspaper. Here we can see the story says, policemen, Kogi governor foil EFCC attempt to arrest Yaya Bello. Sub-story under that reads, anti-graft agency condemns obstruction of arrest. Details is found on page 12. Cardoso links depleting reserves to debt repayment. Sub-story under that reads, CBN stops bank from lending 50% of deposit. Details is found on page 18. PDP governors warn against illegality as NEC meeting today. Details is found on page 2. And the main story here says, El-Rufai, marketers fuel subsidy claim wrong, says federal government, NNPC. Sub-story under that reads, bring evidence of subsidy payments. Lokmobi tells El-Rufai, marketers. NNPC insists it is recovering full cost. Marketers peg petrol at 900 naira per litre. Interesting. This is found on page 17. Below here, the stories say, heavy punishments await persons threatening Nigeria's unity, says Tinubu. Details is found on page 12. Federal government opposes Kanu's request for house arrest. Details is found on page 12 also. One arrested as cultists hack Enugu Bisman to death. Details is found on page 5. Marketers visit PH refinery, plan fuel loading in May. Details is found on page 17, and that's all we'll be taking on the Punch newspaper. Now let's get to see the reactions of people on the streets. Let's get to hear what they have to say as regard these headlines making rounds on the paper. Stay tuned. All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
All right, I would like your thoughts on this story on the Nigerian pilot that says food scarcity may worsen next year with rise importation-processors. What do you have to say about that? Remember that we are having food scarcity at the moment.
Yes, it's a true talk. It's a true talk because looking at how things are going, probability of getting worse next year is visible. It's very, very visible.
Why do you say so?
Yes, because even me now, just like The other time I bought Gary, 1 person of Gary, 12,000. As of yesterday, my man is telling me 1 person of Gary it has increased to 18,000.
And we,
If it's happening like this, what do you think? How do you think it will be in next 1 year?
Exactly.
Or 2 years? So the possibility of it increasing is visible.
But now let's look at it at a general aspect. Is our issue now coming from the people selling this food or from the government? Knowing that the dollar reduced a little bit, but the price of food did not still reduce.
Actually, I don't think it's from the sellers.
Okay.
Because they are selling by what they bought.
What they bought.
Yes.
Expenses
so,
they made.
Yes. So now, considering carrying the goods, the other day I was hearing the amount of, the kind of amount trailer people are carrying goods to Port Harcourt here. Some of them are spending almost 20-something million on the road.
Exactly.
Are you getting me?
Plus settlement and all of that.
So
again, price of petrol also.
Do you expect such person to come and sell it at such a lower rate? No, now you add something. So you also eat now. Now considering the fuel pump, fuel price now. As I'm talking to you like this, I'm a taxi driver.
Okay.
I know how much I bought before now. Now this I just shut down. Say let me rest more. You know how much I bought so far. So before that 6 o'clock I'll close. I'll still buy more. So the question is how much are you going home with? So it's not their fault. If government can come up with like trying to reduce the price of things, you know, I mean, especially this petrol. I mean, the price of food stuff will come down. It will definitely come down. So that's what I have to say about that.
Well, looking how Nigeria is, do you think there is hope for Nigeria? We know things are very hard, but do you think there is hope for Nigeria?
Nah, the hope for Nigeria.
Yeah, from your own view, do you think, okay, like me now, I don't think there is hope for Nigeria at the moment. Before we would see hope, maybe it will be in how many months' time? So
that is why I smile. That is why I smile. Because looking at the future is very, very dark.
Exactly.
It's very, very dark. So saying that there is hope is tiny. It's very, very tiny. Or let's go with his own infinite mercy. He show us mercy.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome. It's good to have you here.
Thank you for.
All right, I would like your thoughts on the Punch newspaper that says El Rufai marketers fuel subsidy claims are wrong, says federal government and NNPC. This is coming from these persons that are selling the petrol to us Nigerians. Remember, El Rufai was saying that something about subsidy and all of that. What do you have to say about that?
No, the first thing I even want to talk about El Rufai, I don't even understand where he stands.
Some persons are saying he's acting confused. He would support this party.
He should come out and just tell us where he stands. But because this is presidential claim issue, you understand? It's presidency's claim. You understand? It's so who is he to come out and be talking about something like this?
Exactly.
That's the first. And secondly, whatever that comes from the presidency, you understand, the public lack, you understand, trust.
Because of how it has happened in the past.
Has happened in the past. You understand? You understand? Once federal government come out with something that okay, this thing is like this, so you understand, people don't have that 100% trust in that. You understand? And secondly, I'm sorry to say, most of these government officials, they don't have the interest of the people at heart. You understand? Okay,
just in accordance with their selfish interest.
Like that's just the fact. That's just the fact. Because whatever, just for example, now Dangote refinery now, they are the one in that gave Nigeria this is a little bit relief. You understand? At least it was 2,000 naira before.
Yes.
You understand? From 2,000 naira it comes down to 1,200. You understand? That's 1,2. You understand? I'm very sure there are some government officials, in as much as they are not getting anything from that 1,2. Even if Dangote have that mindset of bringing it down to maybe at least 1,000, they will manipulate. They will know how well they do their things so that it will favor them, because most of them don't have the interest of the people at heart. You understand? Me, I would just urge the public, you understand, to just keep on. They just have that hope. You understand that at least from 2,000 from 2,000 to 1,2, at least it's a very huge relief. Yes, you understand? At least me personally, I'm impressed with that. So we can still hope for more. Let's just hope for more. But to be sincere, whatever that comes from the presidency, if not that people see it, that yes, it's working, people will not believe it. I'm very sorry to say, even me in particular, let me even talk for myself. It is only when I see that it's working that I can believe it. But they say that this thing will happen, they will do this, they will do that. I will not believe it until I see it working or I will see it happening. That's just
all right. As a concerned Nigerian, do you think there is hope for Nigeria at the moment? Seeing how things are hardship, insecurity, and all of that, do you think there's hope for Nigeria?
Oh, to be sincere, with the way I'm seeing things now, at least when this recent government comes in, it was a little bit hard.
Exactly.
But at least now, with the way things are going now,
I think we've adapted to the suffering.
Of course, no, it's not a matter of this one has been in existence. Adapting to suffering, it has been in existence even before. That's just it. But to be sincere now, the way I'm seeing things, I think yes, I can say yes, there's hope. That's their renewed hope. Their renewed hope that it comes with. At least whatever you want to lay your hand in this life, you have to face some challenges first.
Exactly.
You understand?
Other countries suffered what we are suffering.
Exactly. So from what I've been seeing now, even let's take a look at this diesel of 18 as an example. At least from 2000 era, people were shouting everything. You understand? So let's hope. Let's be now. It's now I can even urge Nigerians to now believe in that their renewed hope agenda. Exactly. That let's hope now. I can now urge Nigerians to hope for more. You understand? At least we can see the depreciating of the naira of the dollar. You understand? So to naira, so at least everything is gradual. It's a process. Let's give them time. There is hope. Yeah. So as I always say, there is this thing at the end of the tunnel. What they say, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So let's hope for more. See, I want to give credit to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for a good job being done. You understand? It has been
the master strategy.
It's a very good strategy. I never believe in all what he has come up with, but now I think I can now say yes, we are good to go. We are on the right path. And by God's grace, everything will be all right.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right. I would like your thoughts on the Punch. This story says marketers visit PH refinery, plan fuel loading in May. May is not far. Just how many weeks' time?
It's not like up to a month.
Exactly.
So less than 1 month. So if they are telling us that something that have not been tackled over years, that this administration is planning on how to
achieve it.
And it will be a wonderful
very big
one.
Progress.
Yes. Everybody is a welcome development. So we would like to see that happen in the Nigerian economy. I think everything boils down to fuel.
Exactly.
Everything we are doing in this economy, once the fuel is normalized, every other thing will start improving. So that's the special thing for them to achieve. We'll be very happy to hear that, and it's working as expected.
Now let's look at the issue of price. Would the price of petrol drop, knowing that we are having local refineries compared to when we are importing and exporting? You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so do you think that the price of petrol will drop?
Naturally, it's supposed to drop because something that God has already blessed us with, the raw material,
we are now refining it ourselves.
Just to refine it and make it available to every common man and every other person that wants to use it. So if the refinery is working, we are no longer talking about shipping it to a distant town or another country where we can now say the cost of transporting it back and refining will now be so amount. So if they can actually make it work, I think it's a common thing. You understand? The effect of that refinery will really make the whole thing to come down as normal. So that's the way.
On your own self now, like how much do you think would be okay? On your own, like me now, I'm proposing 200, 250 naira would be okay for us Nigerians. But on your own side, like how much do you think would be okay for we Nigerians?
At least 200, based on what is happening here, people are still
can afford it.
Yes, people are affording the one. If we make it 200, it will be okay. It will be okay. So far that everything is working perfectly.
Exactly.
You need fuel, you get it. You don't source for fuel and start going long queues of line or all those things. So if they can say, this refinery is working, this is how much it will go. Let's say that 200 naira. It's okay, nobody will frown at it. So far the whole thing has been put in place. So that's the way I see it.
Like you rightly said, that almost everything in Nigeria boils down to petrol, the price of fuel. If you ask these persons, why are you selling this good? They'll say they transported the goods. That's why they are selling at this amount. Now, if the price of goods drop, are we sure that the price of, if the price of petrol drops, are we sure the price of food will drop also? Know that dollar just reduced and the price of food did not change. So how about if the petrol reduces, will the price of food reduce?
You know, in our own Nigerian mentality, you know, things keep on going up. High. But it doesn't come down, even if the things that push it up are normal. So the only thing government can do is to get this regulatory body that will now monitor and give their decent rates. So anybody that is going against this, that will now be government on their own side to live up to expectation by price control system. You understand? If you say now, going like the where I'm coming from, normally I pay 15 naira, but now it's 100 naira. Some are even saying 200. So if there is a regulatory thing that we say from distance to this place is so amount, nobody will go against it. Knowing full well that even as you are doing that rate, you are making profits. So it will be a ripple effect. Everybody will. So that's the way it is.
All right, thank you very much, sir. All right, this is where we draw our curtains for today. You've heard everything that has been discussed here. You heard everything that the members of the streets have to say as regard these headlines on these papers. Please, if you have anything to add to it, do not hesitate. Slide to our comment section and drop your comments. Like I said earlier, if you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please subscribe. Turn on your notification button. Connect with us across all our social media platforms, so that when we draw videos like this, you get to receive our notifications. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today, and this has been the newspaper review here on TAP TV. See you next time.